Hello! This is Bo Tiamat with another fashion set. This one is for Firion from Final Fantasy II. Now, before I start talking about the set, really quickly, I want to give a thank you to Nuval, aka Zipper, Psycho46, and Crystal, aka Party Robot, because they were the ones who joined me for this hunt to show off this fashion set. Now, Firion has a lot of different depictions because there's been remakes of Final Fantasy II, and then there's also like Final Fantasy Dissidia. So there are some options, but there's kind of like a most common depiction of him, and that's kind of what I wanted to go for with this set. And then even if you look at the weapons, he's shown using like sword, he's shown using other weapons as well, and he's also shown as having a bow. So for variety, I decided to go with a bow because I don't like ever use bow or any gun or weapon for that matter. So I wanted to kind of do something different from the norm, but you can definitely use other weapons as well. You can pretty much justify anything with Firion, but I'll talk about that more later if I have time. Now, the equipment that I'm using in this, I'm using the Nera's Flight, which is the fully upgraded Dread King bow. The style is Striker style with Triple Volley 3, Haste Rain 3, and Absolute Evasion. And then the armor is Bherna Cap S, Ancient Vest, Chakra Bracelet, Kirin Shorts R, and the Escadora Scala R. Now the reason I'm using this bow, as opposed to another bow, is because of the coloration. Most depictions show him using like a dark red bow, and I thought this was like a perfect match. You could use, if you want to use the greatest bow in the game, you could use the Teostra bow, but I think this one more closely gets the color right. So that's why I wanted to use this one. Now, for style, you could kind of justify other styles as well, but what I heard was that he was the worst character in the air in Final Fantasy Dissidia. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what I remember hearing. So I decided aerial style would be not a good fit. And then with adept style, you could argue like you're able to dodge a lot in Final Fantasy Dissidia, but because in Final Fantasy II you don't dodge a lot, I decided to not go with adept style. So it was kind of just guild or striker. Guild style is kind of like to me, it's kind of like the jack of all trades style. So you could definitely do that because Firion has the most balanced stats of any of the starter characters in Final Fantasy II. But I went with striker style because in Final Fantasy Dissidia, one of his attacks is called Straight Arrow. Basically, you charge it up. It's a single arrow that you launch forward, which is basically what you're doing when you're playing striker style. You charge up, launch a single attack, and so that's why I'm going with striker style. But you could definitely justify guild style just as easily. Now the arts that I'm using Triple Volley 3, Haste Rain 3, and Absolute Evasion. The Triple Volley kind of reminds me of his finishing move for like I guess it's his ultimate attack in Final Fantasy Dissidia. I never played it, so I don't know what the names of everything is, but the finishing part of that move, he just kind of, he starts off using all of his weapons, which you can't really do in Monster Hunter, but the finishing move, he just kind of launches a salvo of arrows to the guy's face. So I was like, yeah, Triple Volley, I think that's fitting. So that's why I'm using Triple Volley. Haste Rain, he is able to use magic in both games, and I figured, hey, it's like having a haste spell, and it's just a useful art to have, so I kind of wanted to use it. And then Absolute Evasion to me is just kind of the balance between using like between Final Fantasy II and Dissidia. In Dissidia, you're able to dodge a lot. In Final Fantasy II, you're not. So I figured a good balance between that is Absolute Evasion. Now again, the equipment I'm using the Bherna Cap S, the Ancient Vest, Chakra Bracelet, Kirin Shorts R, and the Escadora Scala R. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The Bherna Cap is because he's usually shown as having that weird like bandana thing. So that's why I'm using that. The Ancient Vest, there's not a whole lot that has like a cape. This is the closest thing to having a cape, or like the white cape that I could get. So that's why I'm using the Ancient Vest. And then the other thing with the Kirin Shorts, a lot of the depictions show him having something around his waist, but some of them it doesn't show that. So you can kind of pick which approach you want to go with. If you want to have the thing around the waist, I think the Kirin shorts kind of matches. But if you like him without it, then just use like the Chakra Waist or something. Now some depictions show him using a red cape. If you want to use that, then you could use Damascus. Possibly something else, maybe even the Toka chest piece you could use, because that one is also a red cape. But since I think more commonly it's a white cape, I went with the ancient vest. So that is a set. Again, thanks to those who joined me. Let me know what you think if you so desire. And I will see you next time with, I don't know what I'm going to see you with, probably another fashion set. But until then, happy hunting and peace out.